Thank you for your attention. Diego Ventura will be presenting the comparison among tilmicosin and florfenicol-tylosin to prevent swine bacterial pneumonia. Swine producers consider different factors of the barn's productivity, in which health has a big impact. The primary pathogen of ensodic pneumonia is Mycoplasma hypopneumonia, which causes a chronic respiratory disease in pigs. Infection with Mycoplasma hypopneumonia is also considered one of the primary agents involved in the porcine respiratory disease complex. The supplement of antibiotics through animal feed has grown over the last years. Antibiotics were commonly added to the diet over the past decades to prevent post-weaning diarrhea and improve production of pigs. Tylosin and tilmicosin are the most common premixed macrolide antibiotics, which constitute a very important class of antibiotics. Therefore, the objective of this study was to compare the use of tilmicosin and tylosin over daily weight gain, feed intake, feed conversion ratio, and final weight during 3 production stages of the pigs. This data was collected in 100 pigs from the breeds Lancaster, Duroc, and Yorkshire, which were divided into groups of 15 animals and placed in pens, 4 pens per treatment. On the first treatment, 2 kilograms per metric ton of florfenicol-tylosin were added in the feed provided on weeks 14 to 17. The second treatment had 1 kilogram per metric ton of tilmicosin mixed with the feed and provided on weeks 16 and 17. The variables, daily feed intake, daily weight gain, feed conversion ratio, and final weights were measured on 3 production periods. The grower 1 period from days 70 to 105, the grower 2 from days 106 to 140, and the finisher period from days 141 to 161.
This experiment is an exploratory trial. The impact of the treatment was measured using indirect parameters, considering that if an animal is sick, the performance will have an impact. Data were analyzed using a 2-tailed t-test. The t-tests were performed individually for each variable on each phase. Now, the results. As you can see in this graph, the daily weight gain and the feed intake were not affected on the phases grower 1 and grower 2, but it was affected in the finisher phase. And in this graph, you can see that the feed conversion ratio was affected just in the grower 2 phase, that is the one in the middle. And the final weight didn't have any impact of the treatments. The use of the tilmicosin phosphate and florfenicol-tylosin to prevent the swine bacterial pneumonia had an impact using feed conversion ratio of the grower 2 period and the daily weight gain and the feed intake of the finisher period. The treatment with tilmicosin phosphate have a better results in the feed conversion ratio, the daily weight gain, and the feed intake in the last periods compared with the florfenicol and tylosin. This effect was observed just in the last period since the animals received a vaccination prior to entering the study. This protection induced with the current Mycoplasma hypopneumonia vaccines is incomplete, and these vaccines do not prevent colonization. In conclusion, the treatment tilmicosin phosphate present a better results to prevent swine bacterial pneumonia in pigs. For future research, these antibiotics need to be evaluated under an immunochallenge conditions, and direct parameters need to be evaluated. This concludes our presentation, and thank you for your attention.